Hey guys, do you feel sometimes like you can't think? Like you can't focus? Your mind is just overwhelmed with all this possible thoughts are running in all directions, right? It's not even that you're scared, you just like can't focus at all and the mind is scattered. Have you ever had that experience? And then you get stuck in this scatteredness and it's like you're walking around in the fog and you want to focus, you want to do things. Maybe you have even a clear plan or a to-do list, but instead you can't even get out of this internal sort of a mess that's going on in your head. Like somebody put this big bell jar of cloud over your head and you're walking around like boom, boom, boom. There's all this stuff and yet you can't do anything. Do you know that experience? If so, put a yes in the comments. I would love to know if this is something that is hitting the spot. This is a state that happens very often to people. This is not something unique to just one person. This is actually very common. So if this is something that scattered mind or the overwhelmed mind or like a bell jar over your head when you can't think is what you feel a lot of times, put a yes in there. I would like to know that. Oh, and don't forget the link to a free gift for you guys. So it's either underneath this video or I never know where the side is depending on which device you're watching it. Is it either under or to the side so that you can get your free gift. For the ones of you who don't know who I am Eugenia Oganova. I am a soul strategist and I'm a founder of Transcension Gate. What that means is that I help you design a life filled with purpose, with clear steps to your destiny, while you're feeling enough, like you have all the right tools to do it and how to do it. Very precise pathways of how to do it. That's what soul strategy is. All right, so feeling scattered, feeling like your mind is all over the place, or feeling like you're in this fog, like somebody put a cloud over your head and you can't think clearly. This is extremely frustrating. We end up in that energy when we invite too many things in and we don't decide, we don't prioritize, and when we're afraid. A combination of these factors creates this state of not able to think. And as I said, this is very frustrating where that happens, but there is a clear reason to why that happens. And of course, because of that, there's also a clear solution as to how to get out of it, which is important because that's what we are here for, right? We want to know what the problem is, and then we want to change that. So if this particular problem is solved, what does that look like, right? So if you can think clearly, you feel more confident, right? You feel like you're more capable and you feel clear. So those are the 3 C's. Confident, capable, clear. This is what you want to remember. That's your goal, if there is such a thing, but that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for those 3 things. Confident, capable, and clear. That's what we want. But the part of us that wants that is quite often not the lower self. The lower self, that's where our fears and issues live. And they don't want us to get confident in that other place, in the higher part, in the soul part, because that takes the power away from the lower self, and it also challenges us. It makes us step out of the comfort zone. It makes us actually like go and live life. And if the lower self feels that's not a good idea, that it's better to go and hide, then it would create an experience that makes this scattered mind happen. One of the reasons this happens also is because we float out of the body. So the physical body and the energy body, they meant to overlay each other. There are many different energy bodies. It gets very complex. In my book, Mission Alpha, I talk about all the energy anatomy, and I also have a course about energy anatomy if you're actually interested to know it. But the basics are such that energy field, all the energy bodies, and your physical body have to overlay exactly. So like the center part of you, the physical form, and everything else fits together. When we get freaked out, when we get overwhelmed, where something feels too much and we just don't want to do it, what happens is that we start to push away from our physical body. And we usually do it in a direction upwards, but it also could be sideways or behind. So what that looks like is, here's the person physically sitting, like me, and my energy field is all around me. And let's say if I get scared, my energy field will start to go up. Or as I said, for some people, it goes behind them, or to the side of them, or even in front of them. I've seen that too. I'm clairvoyant, so I can see energy. That's why I'm referring to it visually. What that means, though, when the energy field and the physical body are not overlaying each other perfectly anymore, is that the root chakra, which is the bottom part of the vertical tube, the bottom vortex that grounds us, that makes us present, that connects us to the planet Earth, that vortex suddenly is pulled up. It's like somebody sucking it in from the inside, up, 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 up. Well, before long, it shuts down because there's no force going downwards through it, because all our effort is to go up or sideways out of the body. And that means in that moment, we're not present. Root chakra, that vortex down, has to do with being present, being here, and actually interacting with reality. As soon as we're not present with what is, guess what we're present to? Whatever is in our reality, which is that whole energy field, and usually the lower part of it, which means negative stuff. Self-judgment, we're very much present to that. Or our fear, we're very much present to that. So whatever our issues are, that's what we hear. This is what we bombarded by. Meanwhile, the actual life experience isn't happening. It's like we just put headphones on and now all we're hearing is our own sound and not the reality outside of us, by pulling ourselves out of the root chakra. So when that happens, guess what happens to our minds? They can't function because the mind requires this perfect overlay between the energy field and the body, because the mind translates reality through the brain. The brain is inside the physical head. So if we're not overlaying our physical head, we can't think clearly because we're already somewhere else in our emotions and a freak out. So that's why the not thinking clearly happens. And the way to get back into ability to focus and feeling clear, confident, and capable, the 3 C's, is by returning to your root chakra, being in that vertical flow, directing energy downwards, not sideways, not bigger, just down. By the fact of being vertical tube pathway and down, we automatically realign our brain with our energy field. And that means the thinking clearly turns back on, and suddenly you can think and you know what to do. It's like the cloud just moves off your head. That's how it works. It actually works like magic if you realign yourself. All right. Let's see. Deirdre, sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Deirdre is asking, is this why I get scattered if I'm nervous about my decision? Yeah, because when you decided something, and if you're afraid, if you're not, let's say maybe you know it's a correct decision for you, but you're scared, there is a nervousness about it, like maybe you know it's going to be challenging, or it's going to be something that you have to step into that's not your normal sort of place. Well, that creates fear, right? So fear is an emotion, emotion shows up, and if that emotion is strong enough, it creates a cloud. Cloud looks like, energetically, with my third eye vision, that looks like a fog. So you're suddenly in the fog. And when you're in the energy of fog, what do you see? Fog, right? You don't see anything clearly. It's like somebody who needs glasses but not wearing them. So everything gets real blurry. And when it's that blurry, we get even more scared. And then when we get scared, we start to pull up. And as soon as we pull up, we get scattered mind. So yes, that's exactly how that happens. Which means the solution is go back down, anchor in, first of all. Once you do, look at your fear. Why are you afraid? Realize that, oh, I'm afraid just because it might be challenging. Well, so I'm still committed to doing it. Okay, I believe I can do this, and challenging or not, I'll face the challenge. Great, you can think clearly again. All right? So let's see. Mindy asks, is there a fast way to refocus? Yeah. One way is to get back down in the root chakra. That you can do by simply literally focusing your energy on that vertical column in your system. If you don't know how to do energy internal adjustments, you can simply envision the vertical column and energy moving downwards. You can focus on your feet and then further down into the floor and then further down into the planet. If you do know how to do energy alignments, then it can get more complex, and there are many different ways. And I actually talk about that in my books and in the course about energy anatomy that I have. So all those things help you refocus. Another thing is, if there's too much going on, if there's overwhelm, is to cut off the stimuli. That means too many things happening, and you need to get away from extra stimuli coming in. So in a more material circumstance, it might be literally walking away from whoever or whatever is giving you that stress factor. Stop doing it or stop talking to that person. Walk away, take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, reset, and then go back and face it again. But cutting off the stimuli so that it gives you the chance to refocus inside, that's how you can do that. All right, what I would like you guys to do now is comment below what is your recent experience with not thinking clearly. Not just when you didn't, find yourself able to focus, but what did you do about refocusing? That's what we want to know. We want that recognition of what happened. Let's say something triggered you, or you don't even know what triggered you, and you couldn't focus. You either felt overwhelmed, or you felt like you have this cloud bell jar over your head and it's just foggy and you can't think. But then somehow you got out of it. How? Did you sit in it for a long time and then it just dissolved? Did you get upset with yourself? Or did you find some solution of your own, something that worked for you, that helped you step out of that? I would love to know what it is, so please comment below, and don't forget to like this video and get your free gift by clicking the link next to this video. Okay, bye-bye.